What the heck am I doing this summer and how am I doing all of it? Hi there, welcome to the Teeny Tinker channel. I make ball jointed doll and craft related content. You're here for coffee and dollies. This time it's iced coffee and dollies because it is June. If you're new here, this is the video where I kind of just touch base on what I've been doing, what I'm going to do, what's next for Teeny Tinker's dolls content, collection, all of that good stuff. And we just hang out and we have a little coffee. This morning, our coffee machine overflowed and there were grounds all the way through the back. So we had to go out and get our coffee. So I have a nice iced coffee. And as per usual, I wouldn't say always, but as per usual, I do have a doll here with me, and this is Junie. Now, this is the one I did the Cybergirl custom of a few months back, but now she's just like living her best life with her like super cute face up and a little bit more casual outfit. These videos are also only about once every 3 or 4 months, so just keep that in mind. With Junie and Penelope, the pre-order ended like March 6th, which was my birthday. But I believe the last time we did Coffee and Dollies, it was just a couple days after the pre-order or a couple days before the end of the pre-order. But as of now, the dolls are actually en route to me right now, which is super exciting. I'm expecting a few boxes of blank Junie and Penelope's. I have pretty much everything ready at this point. I just need to put the iron-ons onto their bags and like the cute little like details onto the bags. And I am waiting for my wigs from Hopeful Creation. But all of the full sets are done. All of the blank micro Junie and Penelope's people were able to order. Those are finished as well. And by finished, I mean like assembled and strung, not painted, because I'm going to paint them at the same time I paint the big dolls to give them basically the same face up. As I usually do, I will be shipping out the blank dolls prior to shipping out all of the painted dolls. It's just easier this way that I'm not trying to do face ups and all of that with a whole bunch of dolls like crowded around me or boxes or anything like that. That's very stressful. So I'd rather just get the blank ones out and then work on the painted ones. But like I said, full sets, eyes, everything else is ready to go and I don't have to make the wigs. I just have to wait for them to come. So should be a pretty quick getting them out situation, even if they are painted. As well, my caster has now confirmed that they're beginning work on my Raven and Edgar samples. I think I ordered 3 or 4 full dolls, and then I had a couple where it was just heads and feet. Yeah, because they do share the slim mini body, and when I had ordered Junie and Penelope samples, I'd also gotten like what I was going to have be Raven, and then there were issues with that sample, so I just went ahead and resculpted them as humans and went ahead and got Edgar done at the same time. So I have extra bodies, and I thought instead of getting whole dolls and having these dolls with heads that I can't use, I'm just going to go ahead and ask for extra heads to fit. It's more economical that way and less wasteful. So I'm so excited for them. I'm supposed to have them for maybe September. Beginning of September. I'm really hopeful because I really want to have an October pre-order because my idea for their styling is like a pastel goth kind of look. So I really would like that to be kind of around Halloween. I think it would be really fun. I think it would be like, I just think it would be cute and I have a lot of ideas and I just think Halloween, like October 1st or like even October 15th to 31st or something would be like a really nice time period for that. Cross your fingers for me. I'm really hopeful to get them. I know where I'm sending one sample doll. I am trying to figure out a collab for one of the Raven dolls. I'm not sure yet. So if worse comes to worse and I don't have the samples in time, but there's still demand for a pre-order, I do have the Celestial Squad ready because I didn't have their samples like made by my caster. I 3D printed just the extra parts, so the heads, the new hands, and the new chest options, and the new thigh peanuts, and color matched them. And those parts are now on the cast bodies that I already had for those dolls. So if I go to do a pre-order with them, I'm pretty confident in just using the samples as I have them now, because my caster has been very accurate. Like when I send him a doll, it comes back looking like my doll. I've never gotten a doll back and just been like surprised about something, or there'd be like a new weird gap or anything like that. So I'm pretty confident in his abilities. And because I have the doll here, my concern with like not having samples is not being able to see how the resin moves or the colors, but I already have those colors and stuff here, so that's not a concern for me. So worst comes to worst, and Raven and Edgar aren't here and there's demand, we can do Celestial Squad version 2, and that would be fun as well. And then Raven and Edgar, like maybe more early 2025, spring 2025, I'm not sure. But that's a lot of information on cast dolls. As many of you might know, I've also been trying to put more focus, or like give more time to affordable options, kit dolls, things like that. I have a lot of ideas in the works. I'll talk about that a little bit later, especially for things like teeny tinies. And then I introduced these new dolls called Chibis, and I had done anime ones primarily for Anime North, but I think I'd rather do like chibi versions of some of my bigger sculpts. And the Clovers and Saturns that I did have been selling really well. I think I only have a couple left actually at the time of filming and probably posting, because this has to go up tomorrow. We're kind of real close with this one. I've also been making some really more simple kind of art dolls. Like I have silly sitters. They're these like little guys that like sit and stand that are very, very cute. I have like roly-polies, which are like little figurines. And yeah, like I said, the chibis and stuff like that. So I'm really trying to make art at most price points. I have dolls from $15 to like $750. So, you know, there's something for everybody, I think. That kind of leads into my next point, which is currently I have a stock sale going. There are quite a few teeny tinies left. There's a couple micros. There's the Studio Ghibli chibis, which no one has bought, and I'm like a little sad about it. I might sell them as pairs if they don't start selling and like couple the price up. But I don't know. I'm a little surprised about it, but I'm not like upset or anything. Like everything else has been doing really well, and they were really fun to make for a video, so no harm, no foul. But I have all kinds of stuff still available. I also have like a surprise bag option if you're into that. Somebody bought the like most expensive tier of the surprise bag and got like a kit doll and a ton of stuff. The idea with the surprise bags is if it's a $250, which is the top tier one, surprise bag, you're going to get at least like $320, I think, worth of stuff. I went over. I tend to go over because it's really fun to make surprise bags. But anyways, the stock sale is currently open. The link is down in my bio. Check it out. Let me know if you have any questions. You can email me. I have a chat box on my website, all kinds of good stuff. Okay, so dolls I'm currently working on, because I kind of just went over everything I have available now, currently done and awaiting samples or like awaiting pre-order, but I am currently still sculpting some things. Obviously, I feel like I'm always sculpting some things. You got to keep practicing. You got to keep sharp. But yeah, I am working on some new teeny tinies. I'm not showing them yet. I'm not even sure when they'll debut because I've been heckin' busy and I don't even know when I would debut them. But I'm really leaning into the idea of more anthro object heads for a couple of the tinies. I just think it would be really fun. I think that for a small doll, there's something very charming to me about anthro or object heads. I even think like I might in the future do some like 1/8 size. So like if you think like OB11 type dolls, it's like I have so many ideas for things I want to do. And I'm just so excited to share them with you eventually when I get them done. But like things are coming. I also want to make a second teeny tiny body, I think, because right now I work off of what I call kind of, it's kind of like the curvy teeny tiny body. I've also had the slim mini, like simplified version with the simple like single jointed hips and stuff. That was what like Clover, Bowie, Aria were on. I also would like to resculpt them because I lost their files and it's just the heads really I have to redo. So yeah, I might reinvent them at some point because we are getting to, where are we on H? I. So with my teeny tinies, I go in alphabetical order. So there's like been A to I minus D. We didn't do D because there's A, Aria, B, Bowie. Here, we'll go here. Aria, Bowie, Clover. Skipped D because D was supposed to be Daisy. And Daisy ended up being a head I sculpted for a series here on YouTube, but didn't actually make. E for Echo, which is this really sweet mouse girl. F for Flora. G for Gale. H for Hiccup. And then I for Iris. So those are the teeny tinies I currently have. The next two will be J and K. I have them planned, but not fully sculpted. Not even very, very base sculpts. But anyways, the other thing I'm still working on and I still get comments on and like, it's in the works, is I'm still working on the Sweetheart body with Soda, Hollow, Polly, Fig, and Fennel. I have not forgotten about them. They are characters and like faces that are very, very dear to my heart. And like, I'm not gonna stop working on them, but I feel like I'm about 60% of the way through being happy with their engineering. Every doll I make and every body I make, I want to be like better than the last, but that's how, I mean, I'm really happy with the petite body. It's like, and how flexible it was and everything. So I just want to bring new stuff, and like, she's supposed to be like on the chunky side. And I want to incorporate more chunk into her, or more like chunky girl details, but still have her be very dressable and be able to wear clothes that people can like find clothes for them. Even if she can wear like Glitter Girl clothes, that would be really good for me because Glitter Girl is kind of like slightly chunkier than a lot of BJDs and shorter. So that's kind of my goal, is to have her in like Welly Wisher, Glitter Girl size. She's not going to be Minnie Fee size because I want her to be curvier than that. So still in the works. Yeah, I'm hoping to sculpt more on her like in the following months, maybe share some of that process here on YouTube. But yeah, stay tuned for that because I'm definitely still working on them. I have not forgotten them. I love them very much. So I guess the other side note I'd like to put on that is like Fig and Fennel and, well, Soda, Hollow, and Polly are versions 2, like version 2 of themselves. But Fig and Fennel have been around even longer than like Poppy and Clover's cast version, but like not Clover. And it's like, why didn't I do Fig and Fennel then? And it's mostly came down to, I already had the slim mini body cast, and then I wanted to make something very poseable. And Junie Penelope just kind of happened. Like, I just like hyper fixated and worked on them super hard. And eventually, like, I was just like, oh, they're next. Like, I just fell in love with them. So, yeah, that's kind of what happened there. But it made sense, especially with the economy being what it was and what it still is, to reuse a body more than, like, for more than one doll before having another whole doll cast. It is very expensive to have the full doll cast in all its parts, especially with option parts, versus like if you're just adding heads onto an existing body, your cost is a lot lower. My sample cost for Raven and Edgar is significantly lower than my sample cost for Junie and Penelope, like per doll. So like, well, quite a bit. Not, I wouldn't say like insanely lower, but like it's a good deal lower. So yeah, that's why that happened the way it was. But eventually, I mean, the good news is eventually when I have the Sweetheart body, it's not like there's not 5 heads that are going to be already ready for that body. And at that point, I'll have 3 different bodies, kind of like a cartoony, slim, tall one, a more realistic, slim, short one, and then kind of a chubby, short one. And like a masculine, I guess it's kind of 4 bodies because there's different torso pieces and stuff for Edgar. So anyways, I've had people ask if I'm going to do that as an MSD, And like, that is so far down the line. But if I ever did that, there is a part of me that is just like, oh, how cute would an MSD Flora be? Like, I just want these for myself. Like, MSD Flora, MSD Gale. I think Gale is such a cute doll. Like, her and, like, she and Clover. Like, Clover has such a special place in my heart. But, like, Gale, like, her face, I don't know. It's just, like, it's hard to pick favorite dolls because I really love them all for different reasons. The reasons I love Clover and Gale are not the same reasons I love, like, Penelope and Junie. But, yeah, anyways, all right, so that kind of brings us into our next section, which is my collection update. So I do collect dolls as well as make them, although definitely in the last 2 years, collecting has been very much like backburnered. I still like to collect dolls, but the way I collect has significantly changed since making my own dolls. A big part of that is that I simply would not have the room for the size of collection if I bought every doll I loved. Would not have the room for them, especially like with all of my Teeny Tinkers dolls taking up basically that whole wall over there. My collection has moved on top of the diorama. I mean, I look up there and I'm like, I could definitely fit a few more up there, but I know that I will like eventually end up with more. And that is because the dolls I collect now and the way I collect now comes from a couple different ways. It's either supporting a new artist that like I've kind of watched them kind of come into their own. Sometimes it's like a collab, so somebody might send me a doll to customize for a video and to like show off. It's a collab, but it's also a gift, and I wouldn't give away a gift or sell a gift ever. So like those are dolls that are permanently forever in my collection. And then also art trade dolls. So sometimes I will have smaller artists who like me can't, now that we're, especially if you're a full-time artist, can't necessarily afford to join a whole bunch of pre-orders. That's very much the case. Like when I became an artist, I took like a definite pay cut from what I was doing before. And part of the sacrifice of, okay, well, I'm going to go do what I love full-time, which is so worth it, but was not being able to purchase as many new dolls outright. But there are smaller artists and newer artists that like I really enjoy, or who really enjoy my dolls, like vice versa, when there's like a mutual like of each other's dolls, and we will trade. This is basically the only way I build a collection at this point is those three. And all of those dolls are, I don't know, I don't see myself selling those dolls, and that is primarily what is building up my collection right now. So I think a lot of the dolls I have in my current collection are like long haul dolls, so I have to be really mindful of new ones I bring in. But anyways, let's talk about new ones I've brought in. So the first doll that is new to me in the last 3 months is a collab doll from an artist I also really like. So this is from Zora's Dolls, and I have a whole video here on this channel, of course, because it was a collab doll. And it's this Zora's Dolls, like Melanie Martinez Crybaby inspired sculpt. And I gave it like a Portals meets K-12 kind of makeover. She's beautiful. She came to me already painted and blushed, and it was just lovely. It was such a great base to work with. I don't actually have her on my shelf here. After I finished customizing her and filming her video, I put her on the shelf in my bedroom. I'll insert a video, but I put her on the shelf in my bedroom where there's like a bunch of like fake plants and it's all like greens and pinks and stuff. And she just looks so good there. I just haven't even bothered moving her. So she's like actually living in my bedroom right now. Yeah, so like that's the first new doll I've brought in, and she's super cool. Like I said, she's like become part of my bedroom at this point. Like it's all right. Second doll that I have brought in the last 3 months is an art trade doll. So another artist I love here on this channel, she was well, I love here in general, not just on this channel, but we've shown her love on this channel, I believe. Yes, and then also second channel. Also, if you're not following my second channel, I do have a second channel. Very casual, fun, relaxed content. But anyways, that is not this. This person is also slotted to be a guest on the podcast in the near future. Yeah, she's been in the Craft Exchange. Anyways, it's Padoodle Pie Dolls. I love Padoodle Pie Dolls. She is such a sweetheart. She is so nice. She's just such a kind soul. And her dolls also fall into the category of mine, which is, I think, and this is obviously biggest compliment, weird little friends. That is how I refer to my dolls. It is my very favorite category of doll, and it is a category that Padoodle Pie also falls into. So she reached out and had said during Junie and Penelope's pre-order that she really loved them, wished she could join the pre-order, and would I be open to doing a partial trade for a 3D printed doll of hers, like one of her sculpts. And I was like, oh yeah, totally. And so we worked that out, what that looked like. And I already have my half of the trade, and I did an unboxing over on the second channel. I'll link that video down below as well, but that was my unboxing of, it's Padoodle Pie Dolls, Laura Lee. She's like a cowgirl, and she painted all these spots on her. She's adorable. I still have not had a chance to paint her because I was in, and still am in, like, stock sale / convention season, and it's been absolute chaos. If that's not obvious by the fact that I'm filming this and editing this one day before it goes up, which is very not my speed, because that is very stressful to me. I'm stressed. But anyways, yeah, I continue to talk and make this longer for me, but you know, I love her very much. I will paint her. It will happen. I have not even had a chance to do her concept yet, but I'm going to do like a whole thing. I had this cool idea that I'm like, it's like, I'm not going to say it here. I'm just waiting to flesh it out because I need to know if I have the space to do it, as far as like time, if I have the time and resources. I don't know. It's just, anyways, I want to do something very cool with her, and I just need to flesh out what that is. Okay, doll number 3 that was an art trade, actually. Mervia Art Dolls is another super sweet creator. I've interviewed her on this channel way back in the day in my interview with the artist series. She was one of the artists I interviewed. I think I did 8 or 9, maybe 10. And I had interviewed her before, and it was when Mela was first coming out. And she reached out and she said she really loved Flora, and would I like to trade a Flora teeny tiny for a pocket Mela? And I was like, absolutely, like that sounds amazing. So that's what we did, and now I have this really beautiful white pocket Mela. I've painted her already. I think I need to go a little more intense with the pigment, because once I put that final spray on, it kind of mellowed everything out, and I really want kind of a neon pastel look for her. So I'm going to rework her a little bit, and I also want to paint that sun crown she came with. Anyways, I love her. She's just like a little friend. I'm actually leaning towards, when I collect dolls from friends and from these art trades or anything, art trades, cast dolls for cast dolls, like that kind of thing. But I really like the 3D printed ones as well. The small ones, they take less space. I can have more of them. There's a lot happening on that shelf over there. And for the sake of having room in the future, I don't know. It's a lot. And finally, the last doll. Actually, this is the only doll that does, no, it still falls into that category a little bit. So it's from Seagull Dolls. I think it used to be Seagull Beagle, but she's like younger. I say that being like 32, like everybody's younger. Anyways, her dolls are also weird little friends, and I adore them very much. Sometimes, I don't know if she's done any casted orders or anything. I don't think so, but occasionally she'll put up like STL files for sale. And basically it's for personal use license. So I do eventually, I was thinking about making a bigger one, but I did print myself this little bitty one, and she's so cute, and like, she's so sporty looking. I love how she came out. She's in like a little knit red set. She's just so cute. And I think like like that there are artists who sell STLs of their dolls is very cool. I've been asked before if I'm going to be selling STLs of my dolls, and I really don't see that in my future. For me, it's just like, I really want to protect the intellectual property of it, because I get so stressed about people like just sharing files and stuff like that. So for me, it's not for me, but it's awesome that there are artists who do it, and yeah, too stressful for me, but like, it's very cool that that is an option being offered. Okay, so that's basically all the new dolls I brought in. It was 4. I just talked about them forever, which is kind of nice, because typically when I'm doing these, or in the past when I would have a revolving door of dolls, it would be like, oh, and this one, and then this one, and then this one, and then this one. And then it would be like, okay, I didn't really get to talk about why. And the way I collect now, I get to really like dig into like, oh, this is where this one came from, and this was the experience. And that's a lot more pleasant for me. I like that. But anyways, there are 2 en route. And one was an art trade. It's Valaria Dolls Prim. I'll talk about her more, hopefully in the next Coffee and Dollies, because I should have her by the time that goes up. It's a Valaria Dolls Prim. It's her first casted doll. But yeah. And then I believe I'm supposed to have an Ace of Dolls star. I have to check in on that one, but I think that's meant to be a collab, but I'm not sure what's going on with that, because we use the same caster, and our caster has been very, very overworked. So that's what's going on with that. But yeah, okay. We'll talk about those more once they're here though. Gone. Last time we were here, actually, coffee. Okay. Last time we were here, I talked about how I didn't want to give you a list of all the dolls I'd sold, because it was like, I didn't know who was going to sell and like what was going to happen. So like, but I think the time has come. Most of the dolls I listed for sale did sell. I still have 2 of them, which I'll mention in a second. But the dolls I had that I sold were my Doodol's Dream Misao, the full doll. I still have the Clementine Lily head. Not too sure what to do with it, but I have that. And then I guess I can sell that separately. But anyways, I sold my DigiDolls Demon. It was when I got in a trade. I thought I was going to like it a lot more than I did. Like I said, my collection is primarily either super sentimental, art trades, that kind of thing. So she didn't really fit into that. So when I culled, like when I was cutting down the collection, she did get cut down. That applies to all of these basically. My Truly Meant to Be Dollies, which somebody commented that since this is the second time I've sold this sculpt on, it was truly not meant to be. And I think that is like, that's how I'm going to think of this doll forever, is truly not meant to be for me, Dollies. Because I do think he is a beautiful sculpt, but I didn't connect with him again. So yeah, I sold him on. I also sold my YB dolls, Nora. I love her and I love YB dolls, but she wasn't an art trade. She wasn't a collab. She wasn't a gift. I don't know the artist, like, in any real capacity. Like, so I just didn't have that emotional connection to her. So again, she made the cull list. And that's also true of my Haru casting Cool. She actually, I have to ship her out tomorrow with my first batch of stock sale orders. So, she's going to be going out tomorrow, but I did sell her on a layaway, which just wrapped up. The only 2 dolls I still have up for sale but anyways, I have a Lilycat Devon in caramel. I can't believe she hasn't sold. She was so in demand for such a long time, and she's beautiful, where I'm like, maybe I end up keeping her. I don't know, but I feel really bad that she's like naked in a bag right now. In her bag. Let's clarify. And then I still have a Frapzilla Delphini. Again, she's really beautiful too. I'm having a hard time moving her, but sometimes it's just the when you post. Maybe if I wait a few months and post them again, they'll go quickly, but If not, that's okay. I'll figure it out then. All right. That basically brings us to Teeny Tinker's plans. So we're going to basically just talk about my goals and my dreams. This is basically just what I call everything else that I wanted to mention, or like my goals or all that kind of stuff. What I'm trying to do over here. So I would say like my first thing that's really important to me at this point is prioritization. I have been going insane with how much I've been doing for the last 2 years, and especially the last like year, where it's been my first like year and a half now of, wow. I just realized it's been a year and a half of me doing this full time. Whew. That went fast. Okay, anyways. It's been the first like year and a half of me doing this full time, and I have done what I would consider to be a ludicrous amount of work in that time. I know it probably doesn't seem like it to people who, like, I had a full-time job before, like a salary with 40 to 50 hours a week and et cetera, et cetera. But I work more now than I ever did for any other company. I mean, that's in part because I freaking love doing what I do. But in part, too, there's like, maybe I'll talk about this in another video. I don't know. Maybe we'll do an introspective craft time about this. But the TLDR is that, and that's too long didn't read. Sorry, that's like software speak, maybe. I don't know. But the long story short of it is that there's kind of, for the first while, I had this really intense need to prove that I should be doing this full time. 1 to 2 cast doll pre-orders a year and planning those planning them, sculpting the dolls, everything that goes with that. It also goes into the teeny tinies. It goes into the stock sale stuff. It goes into newsletters. It goes into YouTube 1, YouTube 2, TikTok, Instagram. I have a Threads account. I don't post there. I think people do use Threads. I'm not one of them, but I can't delete it. So I'm also making my own music now. I'm editing my own videos. And by making my own music, I mean for the videos. I'm not like, I'm not starting a singing career by any means. I'm working on my like drawing and my art. And like, that's the other thing. That's another side thing is like, I also design like merch basically occasionally. I think that's the majority of it. But if you really break, and like customer service and stuff too. And website design. And anyways, it's like 30 jobs. I love it. It's really good for my like ADHD brain, but it's really hard to prioritize when everything feels important. So maybe I should talk about this more in a different video, but prioritization is really important. Okay, let's talk about like actual plans for things that I think right now are really important, but again, I need to prioritize. I guess like goals is a good place to go because, my goal here is I'm really on channel 1 here, main Teeny Tinkers YouTube. We're getting so close to 10K. I've been working, 10K is like a marker that I've been like working so hard to hit. The first 100 subscribers was incredible. Then it was 500. When I hit 1,000, like I could have fainted. And then when I hit 5K, I did a giveaway. My 5K giveaway, it was a Soleil. It all rhymed, but 10K is like my next real benchmark, and I'm really trying to hit it. I'm trying to like do the things the algorithm wants me to do with like keywords and hashtags. Marketing is not my strongest suit at this point, unless we're talking about software marketing. But trying to make the content better, trying to interact more, trying to make better thumbnails, try to make better videos, try to make better dolls, try to make more things, try to show more behind the scenes. Anyways, all of that to say it's a really big goal of mine to hit 10K on this channel, as well as hitting 1K on my second channel. I think second channel's sitting around 750 subscribers. If you're not subscribed and you're into that, like that kind of stuff, like it would mean the world if you wanted to check it out. Really trying to, those are my benchmarks. Anyways, nobody wants to hear like internet people talk about numbers and stuff. I know nobody wants to hear that, so I'll just leave it there. The next one is very obviously stock sale is on. There are things available. There's also, like, besides all the dolls and everything else I've already kind of shared, I do have some new merch out. I'm trying some new things. There's like some blankets, pajamas type things. Typically most people are going for like, who have ordered, get like mugs and t-shirts. So I might just simplify in the future. Like, we'll see. Like I said, I'm trying some things, but I'm not going to beat it into the ground if it's not working. So I did try it out. It was fun. We'll see how it goes. If you want to check out the new merch line, it's going to be limited. Eventually, I'll just keep like the best sellers and slim it down that way. But yeah. And then finally, for those who have asked, my sculpting commissions, I don't take very many, but I do have them available currently. Commissions in general, like face-ups. I do face-up commissions, sculpting commissions, and I'm open to things like art doll commissions and stuff too. Let me know what your project is. I do have a whole section on my website where it says shop commissions under the shop tab. It might be under shop DIY too, but it's definitely under shop commissions. And it's a free product that you purchase, and after purchase, you are sent a like PDF to fill out. It's basically a commission form, and then we work together through email to set that up and payment and all of that. It's not a commitment to purchase in any way, but please only purchase it if you're planning on commissioning. Otherwise, it just bugs up my email. But yeah, anyways, that's basically that. And then I guess I'll share this here, and I wonder if it's different than the last time I said. I guess just to like finish off kind of where I'm at. I know last time people appreciated the timeline estimate. Please estimate. I am, again, still in my prioritization era. So, and there are other people I'm dependent on as far as like making these timeline. But basically this month, June, is basically dedicated to fulfilling stock sale and Junie and Penelope when they get here. That's what all of June is. July, I'm hoping to really get to do some fun projects, and well, July and August, actually, I'm really hoping to like really get into projects, really make some really cool YouTube content, and then like get that into September, October, if possible, so that I can have time to prepare for Junie and Penelope, or Raven and Edgar's pre-order. September or November, I'm not 1000% sure. I might do some form of teeny tiny. The new ones I'm thinking of, I'd love to release them, but I was also thinking it might be fun to do kind of like a throwback to like some of the previous sculpts. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do at this point. I have to think that through or see what the demand is. Maybe like an art sale for like Christmas themed items. Like I don't know, like maybe a reindeer themed doll. I know I made one for Sculptmas last year. Yeah, and then October, I want to do obviously Raven and Edgar pre-order. I also am hoping to open up 5-month layaways. I just have to make sure that that's financially feasible. I know people need longer layaways. I get it. I only just need the first month, the first payment to cover paying the caster. Everything else I can kind of get out the next month if I need to. That's all. So I just need to make sure that that's financially feasible, because I do try and keep my prices as low as I possibly can. If you want to know more about the cost breakdown, Pablo, Hopeful Creation, and I have a podcast called Unhinged, and episode 2 or 3, how many have we had? Maybe 3, I think, was why are dolls so expensive? And I break down my cost of a cast doll pre-order, and my margins are extremely slim for the amount of work going into everything I do, and that's fine. I'm really trying to keep them as low as I possibly can. But yeah, just let me know what you think. Okay, but anyways, we've come to the end. This is probably a long one, and I need to edit it today. So if you're already subscribed to my channel, thank you so much for subscribing. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. It would mean the world to me. And as always, I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.